That in hip hop album review, Kid CuDi INDICUD. Yeah, this is for all you bitch motherfuckers keep leaving on the goddamn comments. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, we get to the shit when we get to the shit, all the dopest shit we normally get to. Sometimes we're late, sometimes we're early, but then in hip hop got you, man. Just calm the fuck down. We got you, man. Look, man, I'm gonna start this off like this. Kid CuDi. I'm not a fan of Kid CuDi.
What?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kid CuDi. Kid CuDi, to me, I put him in the same lane in my realm of music like B.O.B. I don't think that he's lame. I don't think that he's trying to make a certain type of music for a certain type of following. I think this is Kid CuDi, but I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of everything that he does. And this album is the prime example. And his other album, like there's only like, I can't fuck with everything CuDi, man. And especially on this album, I feel production was just like overdone. I can't get into it. He's too stonerific. Taking your spitterific. He's too stonerific. He's too, the music is too far for me to grasp onto, man. Like, it's too airy, it's too synthy, it's too much. And it's like, dog, you can't be in that place all the time. And I can't get into this album. I just can't. I tried, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is, like, when I saw Mr. Solo Dolo Part 2, that's one of my favorite Kid CuDi songs ever, the first one. Yeah, yo, that's one of my favorite songs because sometimes you just want to be solo. You know, you don't want to fuck with nobody. You just need to be in your own bubble, your own space. But Kid CuDi, I can't fuck with this album.
Did you like Solo Dolo too?
I liked Kendrick on it.
I don't like it.
You didn't like
You
it?
didn't think CuDi kind of went off too on Solo Dolo too?
I don't like Solo Dolo.
I mean, you didn't make my voice a little bit higher, buddy. What?
I knew you had to laugh at that.
I cannot co-sign this album at all. I just can't, man. I gave it listens and I struggled through it multiple occasions.
It gets really long, doesn't it?
It does. And it's too much. Like, there was no pace switch up really. Like, it's like, CuDi, you gotta give me more, or give me less tracks. Give me more of more sounds, more of you, different you, or give me just less tracks of that stoner shit. But I cannot get into this album whatsoever.
This album sounds very uninspired, man. I don't know where Kid CuDi was going with this project. Yeah, I don't know if it was, and it's under Good Music, right? Isn't this under Good Music? I mean, it's because technically it is, but yeah, I don't know.
This might be why you had to walk away.
Maybe Kanye probably was like, "You ain't fucking with my clique no more. You gotta get the fuck home." After this,
For real, B.
I mean, about the clique. Get him out the clique after you heard this shit. Like, yo,
Ain't
man.
nobody fucking with my clique.
Kid CuDi ain't fucking with my clique.
Right.
Remix, nigga.
And it's, I mean, you know, it's kind of, you know, disappointing coming that he had one of my favorite tracks off the Good Music compilation, you know, and then I was hoping,
Creepers.
huh? Yeah, Creepers. Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, it seemed like,
about that shit.
you know, like I thought, you know, the Solo Dolo Part 2, it's something was off about that track. I don't know what it really was. It was just, that's what it, either that, and then the shit with RZA, he got bees.
You like that either?
I don't know why I didn't like that. And you know why I didn't like it? I guess because of the production. I don't know, but it sounded like typical RZA. I got the typical offbeat, off-flowing type style of RZA. I didn't really care too much about that track. The track that I actually kind of like, I like what King Wizard and Immortal, and the other track with King Chip and A$AP Rocky Brothers. I like that. I actually like that track. I don't know what the fuck was he thinking with this track. Was that shit? It was like 9 minutes long.
Don't hate. I knew you gonna hate.
Bring your friends. Afterwards. Bring your friends. If you gonna give me 7-8 minutes of this shit, dude.
9.
No, well, 9 minutes. I'm sorry, 9 minutes, dog.
long.
Why would you give me unnecessarily, man? Like, what the fuck was that? Bring your friends.
Had no purpose.
And like, it's like some stuff. Like, and what was the purpose of Red Eye? Like, I don't. You like Red Eye? You did? Oh, yeah. It was like a lot of these joints. I was like, man, this shit sounds so uninspired. It was just like production. He need to go back with Emily or somebody, cause
Off his first Emily. I'm thinking some chick.
No, off Emil.
Oh, yeah, no, man, I got you after I thought about it.
But yeah, he needs to link back up with them or something. I don't know. He just don't, like I said, he don't seem uninspired on this album at all, and it's too long. And then you gonna give me a long album with just
nothing,
with just all this shit. Yeah, really nothing with like maybe what three or four tracks off this album that I like really pretty much enjoy. Other for the most part.
How many? 3
or 4 tracks. Yeah, man, that I enjoy.
Out of 18?
Out of 18, man. And then, you know,
damn.
And then, like, you know,
been an EP.
Out of the instrumentals, you know, he had that New York City Rage Fest, which I was like, okay, the way it was, I like the last one the best out of all the instrumentals that he had on there. The final one, yeah, I like that one the best. Yeah, the first one was, oh my god, that shit was fucking terrible. And then he went into the second song, Unfuckwittable. I didn't.
You like that either?
I ain't like that one, dog. Hell no. I like this is the way I am.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that joint. Yeah, the third track. I liked that one. But yeah, overall, man.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. But overall, man. Yeah, I was very disappointed with this album.
This was a weird album for me, and I think because CuDi decided to do everything himself, it didn't lead to much variation throughout the album. If you think about his previous first 2 projects that, you know, the previous projects that he's had, you know, it was broken up in places. You had like the mellow CuDi shit, and then you had some up tempo CuDi shit, and you have like fucking single shit. Like this project.
God damn.
I don't know. Yeah, man, because you know, it's like the more you play it, I think sometimes you can kind of
get something.
Yeah. You know, and I played this shit a fucking lot. Like the second or third time I heard it, I was like, man, what the fuck is this shit? You know, because I didn't understand it. But I've always known CuDi to be a kind of guy that's gonna put out some shit that you just really kind of won't fucking understand at times, because he's doing something different. Right. And you know, and I can applaud him for doing that and bringing something different to hip hop and not sticking to the traditional sounds that are out there, because that's always been CuDi. That's his lane. That's what he does. And I think this is him. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do with this. I don't know what the fuck where he's going. Like this whole situation surrounding him leaving Good Music, him tweeting last year that Good Music artists were supposed to be on the project. Now all of a sudden these motherfuckers are not on the project. And it's like, what happened? And you think it's something, even though they're playing nice in the public, something probably happened. You get one feature on Cruel Summer, you know, and you're supposed to be one of their you know, their flagship artists, man. So,
Unfuckwittable.
I am a CuDi fan.
I'm a CuDi fan too, but
I love Kid Cudi. I love the experimental side of Kid Cudi. But I've said before that Kid Cudi is not a deep rapper. He's just not. When I put this on, the first track, the first instrumental, I loved it. That dirty industrial beat, I thought it was dope. Unfuckwittable, I liked. Third track was a typical CuDi song. I need smoke.
Right.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, but by that fourth track with Father John Misty, even though I love Father John Misty, by that fourth track, I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? What the fuck? Jesus Christ, girl!
You like that shit?
No, it did not sound cool on this. The idea was lame. Kid Cudi was trying to write a track for the chicks, and it did not work at all.
Yeah,
you have the track list up.
Young lady.
Yeah, young lady. You look so good, young lady. No, Cudi, no. Fuck that shit, man. Hold on, let me look at my track list. Let me just say this about this album. I don't know if it's a matter of Kid Cudi is feeling himself a little bit too much, or he's just running out of ideas. But this album did not come together the way his last two albums did. He should not have produced the whole thing himself. The whole thing sounded very samey, which his other album sounded samey too, but it was different. It felt like a cohesive project. This kind of didn't, because this album was the epitome of hit or miss. It was like certain tracks were really good, certain tracks were just unfucking listenable.
But aren't most of his albums like that? Hit or miss?
I don't think so. His last
Now it's
no.
Yeah, remember me? Yeah.
Remember, you and I,
I listened to that album, his first album, like 30-something times before I was like, you know what, I fuck with it.
I did too.
And
I did too.
I don't know, man. I kind of fuck with this project. Really? Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll let Modest Media go last. Okay, so no, I agree with B. I liked Immortal. You know, that was where that crooning thing that Cudi does really worked.
Yep.
You know, it sounded really good.
It's so signature Cudi.
I thought B's was dope as shit. I thought the production was fresh. I thought RZA produced it at first.
No.
At first, only for a second. I thought that track was nice. Brothers I liked. Lord of the Sad and Lonely I really liked. Burn Baby Burn, Solo Dolo 2. Now, for the shit that was unfucking real, how bad it was. Girls, Too Short needs to be ashamed of himself. Kid Cudi should be ashamed of himself. Anyone that co-signed this track should be ashamed of themselves. All different colors and sizes. This shit was so bad. So bad. Cudi cannot write tracks like this. It doesn't work. I know you're out touring, you're fucking crazy chicks. This song, no. I like the Cudi when he's just introspective, depressed, sad, just fucked up. I like those tracks. But this track was horrid. Fucking horrid. Afterwards, I don't think I need to go into that because it made no sense.
We already broke that down. Already.
It was completely pointless. It was some
But
stupid house beat with Michael Bolton. Okay, I'm gonna say this. If you were gonna try to pull like an iconic singer out of the blue, why the fuck would you pick Michael Bolton? It's almost like you're joking because he couldn't even hold it together. You saw his face? He's like, why not? I'll tell you why not. Because Michael Bolton is a fucking joke.
He's sitting at home doing nothing.
Exactly. Kid Cudi is not the person to save Michael Bolton.
Right.
If you want to get some random ass singer, get Elton John. At least Elton John can sing. Get Peebo Bryson. He ain't doing shit.
Would it surprise you if you saw somebody say that Kid Cudi is doing a track with Michael Bolton?
Yes.
With that, I don't know. Kid Cudi seemed like he would be the type of motherfucker that think it's like you said. He may be feeling himself a little bit too much.
Yeah, and he thinks he can do anything
and think he could go get Michael Bolton. Like, oh, you know what? Who can I go get? Michael Bolton's not doing shit. let me give him a call.
I don't even think he was thinking so like Michael Bolton ain't doing shit. I think he was really like, I am so fucking genius. I'm gonna pull Michael Bolton out and make y'all like it.
Yeah.
No, it didn't fucking work, Kid Cudi. If Michael Bolton was singing the whole track versus just that weird hook, and then it just going off into some, how the fuck does a song remix itself in the same song? Like, the shit flipped the beat, and it wasn't even cool.
Right, it wasn't even good.
It wasn't even a good beat to begin with. How you gonna remix it?
Right. For 9
Then,
minutes,
hold on, I got the name of the song that I have not gotten out of my head because it was so bad that it was laughable. What song you think I'm talking about?
Cold-blooded.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That song was so stupid. Niggas know I'm cold. Yeah. One cold-blooded nigga. Oh, I'm so cold. I have to say this. As an entire project, granted, it was way too motherfucking long. As an entire project, I actually enjoyed most of this album. There's just certain songs that were unlistenable, you know, and that was one of them. That, Girls, the young lady, they need to be cut, man. Just to the floor. Can't do it. But yeah, I know you all were saying that's typical Cudi. I don't think this is typical Cudi. I think this is Cudi, but an unfocused Cudi. This is Cudi with way too big of a head. This is Cudi thinking that CuDi can do this because he's CuDi. And it's just, I support and applaud CuDi for being daring enough to take these kind of chances. I just think that some of these songs just did not work for me.
There's such a backlash against this project, though.
It's a love or hate.
It really is, and I think CuDi himself is having a hard time adjusting to the harsh criticism.
But it's always like that.
But I don't know. It
Not
seems a little different this
everybody
time.
doesn't always fuck with CuDi album.
Right, and
always
people
half and half.
But it's even his fans now. That's the thing.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
that's the
difference. It's even his fans now. They're just like, what the fuck are you doing, CuDi?
And I think that's the shit that he can't process that happening to him, because he's been successful and everybody's enjoyed him, especially his fans, up to this point. Because if you didn't fuck with Kid CuDi, you're just not gonna fuck with Kid CuDi. You know what I'm saying? You're like, nah, I don't fuck with him, I'm gonna let him do him. And I'm gonna just stay over here. So his fans would always stay with his shit. With this album, it's completely different. And if you look at CuDi's Twitter feed, he's having a hard time processing it.
He's getting mad.
He is getting upset about it, highly upset. But he should just remember that, you know, he's a cold-blooded nigga and just keep it moving. You know, but yeah, his Twitter feed, at times he'll be like, you know, fuck the haters, fuck this, that, I'm doing this. And then at times he'll be like retweeting all his fucking fans and shit like that. And then at times he's going off of fucking Gin and, you know.
You know what, man? One thing that CuDi needs to understand, you can't dismiss every single bit of criticism as hate. I'm one of the biggest haters there is. I'm not hating on Kid CuDi. I'm telling CuDi and I'm telling the world that, look, man, some of this shit did not work. Sometimes you had a great beat with very questionable lyrics. Sometimes you had an awful beat with some pretty good lyrics. That's just the way it is, man. You didn't hit a home run with this album. You hit a few fucking foul balls and you made it to first base. And you stuck there. And you never made it home. This album never fucking made it home. And you can't get mad at people for saying that shit. I loved his last two albums. Loved them. Start to finish. This shit, no, man. I was disappointed in the way of, I like the way Kid CuDi is usually very introspective. I was happy with most of the productions. I like the sounds he used. I like the fact that he decided to be so experimental. But a lot of these songs,
I've never been a CuDi fan. Like I said, there's certain songs that I can fuck with, but it's very few, man. I'm just not a CuDi fan, and this project is why. Like, I can't get into that stonerific shit. Man, yo, it was really hard for me to get through it. I don't want to say, you know, don't go pick this up. If you like CuDi, you know, support CuDi. I don't like CuDi. I won't be supporting this project. I really don't support CuDi in that way. But to each his own. And no, it does not fucking bump in the whip at all whatsoever, not being played in there.
He always creates albums that requires multiple listens for me to really, really enjoy. And that was one of the things that, you know, Modest Media and I, we had the conversation when he first dropped Man on the Mars. We were like, what the fuck is happening? Man on the Moon, I'm sorry, Man on the Moon. We were like, what the fuck is happening with this album? But I was the first to say, man, yeah, at about the 31st listen, you know, I was like, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And I think this may be one of those projects. I don't, you know, I'll let C-Town, I'll leave that for C-Town. But for me, it always takes like a lot of listens to kind of fully understand and process what he's doing, because he does his own thing. So you gotta compare CuDi to almost CuDi, you know, and really that's kind of be the only way you would get it. But so it may take about, you know, 50, 60, 70, 75 listens. And you know, you might be like, you know what, this shit wasn't bad.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling this album. I was pretty disappointed by me liking his project since the mixtape Kid Named CuDi, his first two albums. This was just so lazy, and this was just a lazy project, uninspired, like Mike said, unfocused. I didn't like this at all. I ain't no half and half with me. It's like fucking 25-75 for me. Dang, pretty much.
How you feel about his first two projects, though?
I like them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, I liked his mixtapes, his first two albums. I liked them off the first listen. You know, he was very creative. He seems way too creative and innovative to be making this type of album. I think this newest one. I don't know. It's just, I wasn't feeling it at all.
my first issue, this album is way too fucking long. 18 tracks. I don't need 18 tracks of this kind of CuDi. One thing to get with CuDi is you already know that when you put his album on, you're not gonna get standard music. He's clearly tone deaf, and he doesn't care. He cannot sing for shit. But I'll say this, these are the things that I like about CuDi. I like the fact that he does not try to do conventional singing on these tracks. He just croons and moans. A lot of people that would bother them, but I think that that's one of the most interesting aspects of Kid Cudi. With this album in particular, I can't even say I haven't sat with it long enough because it's been a good couple of weeks now, and I've listened to this a lot. And overall, I do like it. I do like it. I just think that when it comes to words, Cudi's not always the best. And I think a lot of times his words ruined the songs for me. Cold-Blooded had a cool beat. The concept and his words ruined the track completely. Same with Girls, ruined. It's just, it doesn't work. But yeah, I can still listen to this. I can ride around listening to this. I just have to sometimes tune out the hokey, corny shit that he says, you know? And I don't think that this is gonna grow on me after 35 listens. I'd much rather put on Man of the Moon 1 or 2 than this project. CuDi, stop producing your whole projects by yourself. You're not there yet. You have a long ways to go before you're Kanye, and a longer ways to go before you're Dre.